Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial. Uh, Last class we were talking about some vocabulary related to food, and I remember that when I was writing the answers behind me on the board, they were difficult to distinguish them. So today I would like to start with the answers of this exercise. So I hope you can check them. Here we go. Okay, these are the answers. First one was chef, second was menu, then buffet or buffet, then dessert. Next one was dish, chef, waiter, and ingredients. So let's continue now with the next exercise. Well, in order to solve the next exercise, I remember that I told you that we needed to know some action verbs related to cooking, and that's the reason why today I have gotten this picture in order to see some of these actions and to remember the ones you know. Perhaps simmer. Simmer is like hervir, but is different from boil because in this case you simmer just like with the vapor slowly, things like this. Then you have slice. Slice is a verb that you use. It's an action that you do when you cut ham, for example, like this. This. Just slice it. Sometimes you can also slice the bread. And so, but spread, for example, when you make a sandwich, you spread mayonnaise on the bread and so on. Stir is like this, stir. You have taste. Taste is the action you do when you want to know if something is tasty, delicious, or if you don't like it, like this. That's taste. The next one is grate. Grate is like grate cheese, like this. In order to make something like powder, something which is a piece like this, like bread or something similar, then you grate it and then you make it like powder. Then we have grill. Perhaps you cannot see it very well, but this grill means, this grill is like parrilla. So when you grill something, that means that you put something on a parrilla, something on a grill, and then you grill it. Then we have layer. Layer is to put one ingredient over another, and so on. And you make layers. Then we have level. Level means to put things at the same height, like this. The next one is melt. Melt, well, that's easy. For example, you have a piece of ice. When there is heat on this ice, it becomes water that is melt. Next verb is add. Add to put something on the things you are cooking and so on. Then we have bake. Bake is hornear. That's quite simple. Then we have blend. When you have many ingredients, you put them together and then you use a blender, and then the blender, well, it's a machine that makes it like this. It's like mix them all together. You have boil. Boil, that's hervir. You have bread. For example, well, you all know milanesas, right? So it's meat or any other ingredient, any other things that you want to eat. Then you put some bread on it, and then you fry it. That is bread. We call it empanizar. You have pinch like this. Take a pinch like this with your fingers. The quantity of your fingers, a little bit or something. Then we have pour. Pour like this, like pour water or something. Then we have scramble, like scramble eggs and so on. Then we have serve, 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 serve food, serve coffee, serve something, serve. Then we have broil. Broil is quite similar to bake. It's also hornear. Then we have chop, like this, cut things, but not just cut, but make very little pieces with a knife, like this. Then we have cut, like this, cut. And we have deep and fry. Deep and fry. Well, I hope you know all of them, all these verbs. Well, according to this and the next picture, we're going to solve the exercise in your books. Now, before doing the activities, I would like you to look at this summary I made for you. And I hope you remember the meanings. I know we shouldn't use too many, yes, too many phrases in Spanish, but sometimes it's confusing, and that is why I decided to put it like a summary over here. A, we already know this, the meaning. Some can be used with singular and also with plural in affirmative sentences, but also in questions. In questions to request, that means pedir, solicitar, and also to offer something. So normally we use any in questions, but if we need a request or we need to offer something, then we have to use some. For example, would you like some coffee? Well, in another type of sentence, we can say, do you have any? Do you have any milk? Do you have any coffee? Do you have any other ingredient? Do you have any tomatoes? Do you have any potatoes? Do you have any bananas? And so on. So normally we use any, but when you offer or request something, can I have some? Can I have some water? Can I have some tea? Can I have some more? Anything you think you can think of, we use some. And so, well, any, you remember it has three meanings. We use any in negative sentences. For example, I don't have any time. I don't have any question. I don't have any idea, and so on. So we use any in negative sentences. But we can also use any in questions. Like I told you before, do you have any question? Do you have any milk? Do you have any coffee? Do you have any tea? Do you have any milk? Do you have any apples? Do you have anything? And we have any in interrogative sentences. Well, that's what we have already seen before. Then we have no. No means nada de, ningunos, but in affirmative sentences. That is very important. When when the word is negative, normally we use it in affirmative sentences. For example, I have no money, I have no idea, I have no questions, I have no friends. Ooh, how sad. I have no I have no time, I have no anything. Then a lot of or a lot, lots of, and many, but that's muchos. A lot of, lots of, and much means mucho. That means that a lot of, lots of can be used with countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, let's move on to the exercises. Oh, more vocabulary. Okay, here you can see we have a bottle. For uncountable nouns, sometimes for liquids and powder and what else. But there are some nouns that are uncountable, that we cannot take them like a piece, like water, coffee, milk, sugar, salt, and so on. And that is why we need some containers. I have some for you here, like a bottle of milk, a bottle of water, a bottle of anything. Then we have a glass of water, a glass of milk, a glass of milk, a glass of wine, a jug, a jug of water, a jug of orange juice, apple juice, carrot juice, and so on. Then we have a cup of tea, a cup, that's a container, a packet or package of tea, and so on. A jar, that's a frasco. Look at this. Well, I hope you can see them better. We have a jar, it's frasco, and loaf. Do you remember that bread is uncountable in English? Well, here's the container, a loaf, which is like bar or piece, similar to piece or pieza. Then a slice, we already saw slice. Then we have a carton of milk, carton of juice, can, a can of Coke, a can of tuna, so Once again, we have a bottle of Coke, a bottle of water, so a bowl, like tazón, a bowl of sugar, a bowl of soup. So, well, let's continue with your books and let's see if we have some exercises in order to solve them. Here we go. That's the grammar explanation. Okay. All right. There we go. Here we need to decide if this is countable or uncountable. These words are countable or uncountable or both. So here, like this, here can be, well, uncountable. Let's say it's uncountable. A kilo is countable. Meat is uncountable. Paper can be uncountable. Piece is countable. Popcorn is uncountable. Could be both. Slice is countable, of course. Soup is uncountable. Tea is countable. No, is uncountable. Time is uncountable. And tin is the same as can. This is lata. So that is countable. And water is uncountable. Okay, the time is uncountable. Why? We say 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. So we count the seconds, not the time. Then we have minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes is the same thing. We count minutes. We are not counting the time. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. So we are counting the hours, not the time. So be careful with this. Time is like money. Say dinero. We don't say dineros. And tiempo, we say tiempo. We don't say tiempo. So be careful. It can be confusing, but it's not. Okay. Let's move on to the next exercise. Okay. Here, circle the correct words. This recipe needs half of strawberry jam. Jam is mermelada, so we need a jar, packet, or can. I think is jar. Next, where are my kitchen scissors? Scissors is plural, so the answer is are. Number 3, I need advice about dieting. Advice is like consejos, so because I need algunos consejos, some advice about dieting. 4, would you like sugar in your tea, grandma? You can say little or a little sugar, so little. I've got a few or a little or any milk left. I've got a little milk left. This left is not izquierda, that means me queda un poco. So I don't need to go to the supermarket yet. I haven't got much, a few or little time to cook. I haven't got, we say that it is uncountable, so it's much time. To cook, I'll make an omelette. There are much, a lot, any people in the supermarket today. People is countable, it's plural, so there are a lot of. Next, number 8. He gave me the ideas about how to improve my cooking. He gave me a few ideas. You can see it's plural, so that means that we have to use a plural container. So a few. Yes. Number 9. Physics, my worst subject. Subject is singular and also in the school, but I did very well in my cookery class. You can see here it says I did, so that means it is past. So physics was. And number 10. Few, little, many people at the dinner. Many is plural, so I have to use many. people at dinner enjoy the food. I think that an uncle, you were the only ones